Ms. Cain, now you say you've had an on-again, off-again relationship with Mr. Wright for the past 3 years. In addition to questions regarding your daughter's paternity, you say your relationship has suffered from instability and constant mistrust.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, now Mr. Wright, you say that Ms. Cain has repeatedly lied to you and you have every reason to doubt the paternity of 1-year-old Ariana. Now, you confess that if the results of today's paternity test prove you are not the biological father, you plan to walk out of this courtroom and have nothing to do with Ms. Cain again.
That's right, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Cain, why is there so much mistrust? What's going on in this relationship?
When we first started talking to each other, I was always hanging out with my ex. And
were you still sleeping with your ex at the time?
No.
So you weren't sleeping with your ex, it was really your ex?
Yes.
That's not what he said.
What, Mr. Wright?
I said, that's not what he says.
So, Mr. Wright, you tell me. I want to know why there's so much mistrust.
Yeah, he called me to have me tow her car.
The ex did?
Told me it was his girlfriend. I went and got her car, towed her over to her house, you know, because she's my boy's girl. I was talking to her, told her what was wrong with the car.
So her ex is your friend?
Yeah, told me if I...
Now we're getting places.
Well, we were friends. We were friends.
Okay, so you went over there, got the car.
Right.
But when you get to her house, your boy's girl was flirting.
No, she didn't flirt till I left. Like 5 minutes later, she sends me a text message.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. I said that I thought he was cute and if we could move on to maybe something more.
Wait a minute. With the tow... Wait, the tow truck man left and then you just sent a text like, I think you cute, can we move on to something more? What, something more than you towing my car?
Yes.
Okay. And so you started dating?
Yes.
And at some point during this time, you got pregnant?
Yes.
Well, before that, I mean, we started dating, then her ex-boyfriend's always sleeping in her bed with her.
What?
No, it wasn't like that. He came over to my house because when he helped me move in, he needed somewhere to stay. My friend was sleeping on the couch, and I said, whatever, you could sleep in here. I gave him his blanket. We had separate
What about the
beds.
floor? Now, you know you're in court, Ms. Cain.
Yes.
And I need to know the truth. Are you sure nothing happened
100%.
that night or any other night?
Yes.
You don't look like you believe that at all, Mr.
I don't believe that at all. There was one instance, she went out, she lied to me, told me her friend, they were gonna have a girls' night out. Well, my boy was a door guy at the bar. Come to find out, her ex's friend and her girl were all on double dates together.
We were on a double date. My friend, what was going on was one of my friends, she asked me to go with her to meet this guy. And my ex was there too with his boy.
They picked you up at your house.
Okay, but all right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this for a minute because you say the relationship is just riddled with mistrust. And I can see why. I mean, this is just a mess. First of all, when you started dating her, did you tell your boy, hey, I'm dating now?
She didn't want him to know that me and her were seeing each other.
Now, is that because they were friends or is that because you were still sleeping with the ex?
No, my ex did not believe that him and I hooked up.
Did he not believe it because that was his boy and he didn't think his boy would sleep with you?
I don't know. He never really got into all that. He didn't believe it.
And so meanwhile, Mr. Wright, what's your ex doing all this time? Because you living in the house with her, right?
My ex is, I guess, stay at the crib, take care of her kids.
So she's still at the house then?
Right. She's
and you're
still at the house.
living with her while you're dating
Right, but
Ms. Cain.
I sleep in the living room, she sleeps in the room.
And now, Ms. Cain, do you believe he was sleeping with his ex too?
Yes, I do. Because she would get a hold of me off of Facebook and tell me that they're still together and that they're sleeping together.
That's not true. Me and her have broke up, and yes, I've done stuff with my ex. When we've been broke up.
It wasn't just when we were broken up.
Okay, so you all have a 4-way relationship that includes... No. Let's just call it the way it is. You all see each other, but you also have relationships with your exes.
But see, I admit what I've done.
I had a friendship with my ex.
And now
That was all it ever was between him and I.
That's why the day you go out with a double date with him, you leave the bar at 10:30, go to his house till 6 in the morning.
So, because they wanted to go, and I wanted to go.
Okay.
Really?
I've heard
it's because
enough
I didn't
of
have
this.
my phone. He
I've
stole
heard enough
my
of this
phone
because
from me.
regardless whether you slept
Right?
with your ex or whatever, you all can't build any trust like this. There's no way. And at some point, with all this messiness, you get pregnant.
Yes.
And you tell him.
Yes.
And when she tells you, are you happy? Do you believe it's yours?
I was
or you
happy, but I still had that, you know, with everything she's doing. I mean, she went over to her baby daddy's house. She has 2 other kids, went over to his house. Was over there for 3 hours when she knew
was
that
like an
dinner was
hour and a
almost done.
half.
Then ignore my phone calls, my text messages. Then finally she
My
she
kids
shows
had
up.
my
Oh,
phone.
well, or she finally calls me. I'm on my way now. Where were you? Well, I got blocked in the driveway because there was a gas leak. So what do? I call the gas company.
Oh.
They never had no report of a gas leak on that street.
You went real Inspector Gadget,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. There was no. She's trying to tell me.
He solved that case, didn't he, Jerome?
She's trying to
Sure
tell me
did.
there's 6 trucks over here. So I called
told
the
you
gas
there was
company.
2 trucks
Gas
over
company was
there
like, we don't have
that
no record of it. So what'd she do? Well, maybe they didn't know. The only way for them to get 6 trucks over there is for it to go through dispatch.
So you find out she's lying about that.
Yeah, but she still sticks
So
with the story.
all
I was
of
blocked
this
in the
is
driveway.
going on, and so when you find out she's pregnant and all this is going on, you're saying to yourself, she's not on the up and up. This baby may not be mine.
Right.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
She told me twice that it might not be mine.
Oh,
And then
she told you? She
and then
told you?
While she was pregnant. And then again, just a couple months ago, she told me
hold
that
on,
she wasn't
because she
mine.
just validated your assertion. So, Ms. Cain, that's true.
Yes,
You
I did
told
tell
him
him.
while you were pregnant that
Yes.
this baby is not his.
Right.
I mean, just a couple months ago, she told me. We got into an argument, and I was like, I'm going down, I'm filing for full custody. I'm going to file for paternity test, and I'm filing for full custody. She was like, you might want to go file because she probably ain't yours anyway.
Oh, that's when she said it.
Yeah, because he always wants to think that he can just control everything I do. He wants me trapped in a house all the time.
It's not that I want her trapped in the house. I want her to actually do what she
doesn't-
says she's going to do, just like her ex-boyfriend tells me every time she's with her mom. Every
Well,
time
if
she's
you
with
do
her
what you're
mom.
supposed to do.
Her ex-boyfriend's telling me, oh, she's calling me from her mom's phone so you don't see it on her bill. So what does she do every time she leaves with her mom? Oh, I'll be back in an hour. 6 hours later, and the 6 hours she's not returning my phone calls.
Ms.
She won't
Cain, why
text
are
me.
you doing that? Why can't you return his phone call?
Why can't he return my phone calls when I call him? It
You
takes
don't
him
return
8 hours
hers
to
either?
return my phone
She
calls.
calls me, I answer the phone.
No, you do not. My texts or my phone
I mean,
calls.
she leaves. She
You've been
puts
with your
everybody in front of me,
ex-
everybody, but she expects us to work.
So, Ms. Cain, while you're pregnant, you tell him this may not be your child. This isn't
Out of
your
anger.
child.
Out of anger.
Out
Yes,
of
I did.
anger.
Yes,
So it was only out of anger because in your mind there's absolutely no other possibility.
correct.
This other guy, her friend, me, her, and her friend had a threesome. So what is this? So what is this?
Wait.
So what is this? She goes over to her friend's house to hang out with her friend and her friend's boyfriend. They're drinking. Her friend somehow gets her shirt off, her bra off, her pants halfway down.
No, it was not
all
around
this.
no.
And then she tells me she got uncomfortable, so she got everything back on and left. Her friend told me she knew what was going on the way over there. I had a threesome with you guys, so she was gonna have one with us. According to her
never.
friend, they had a threesome.
No.
And she's lying to me about that.
What my friends told me
Oh
is that
my goodness! Why are you two even together? At this point, I just want to know, why are you two even together?
Because I do
He
love
don't
her.
I do
answer
love
my
him.
call. She don't answer my call. It's a 2-hour break. She not taking the phone into the bathroom. I mean, this is just, I mean, constant complaint after complaint. Neither one of you trust the other one as far as you can throw them. You really don't. So Ariana is now here in this mess. You the mother. He doesn't know if he's the father. Now, when she's born and she's here, were you participating, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, I've been there
was
since
there.
day one. I was there when she was born.
At the
I'm the person
hospital.
that supports her.
At the hospital.
Yeah, at the hospital.
So you're at the hospital. Did you sign the birth certificate?
No, actually, I got it right here. I didn't sign the birth
Jerome,
certificate
let me
because
see that.
I told her before she even went into labor, I told her, I'm not signing the birth certificate. because I have a doubt.
Yep. No father's name recorded.
You know, and then now she throws that up in my face. If she turns out to be mine, she's gonna keep that short when she's older. That I
Who
didn't
said
sign.
that?
He's the one that brought that whole thing up. He's the one that thinks that I'm going to keep her and throw it up in her face, saying that he was a bad dad, he didn't want nothing to do with her, and all this other stuff. That's the reason why I keep it.
That's what you tell everybody. Even though I'm the one that
No, I never
supports her.
said
I
that.
say whatever I'm
First
wrong.
of all,
No.
that's why you're here, and that's why this court is here, so we can get all this nonsense straight now, so you all do
That's
not
you.
have to be trying to explain grown folks' nonsense to an innocent child. She didn't even know this happened.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why we have to get the truth today.
Yes, please.
So, Mr. Wright, when you look at Ariana, do you see yourself? Do you feel like she looks like you?
I do, but I think she looks like me. I think she looks like my niece. You know, I think she looks like my family. But the problem is her family will sit there and say how much she looks like her other two girls, but then a week later say how much those girls look like their dad, that they don't look nothing like her. So that tells me that she looks like.
So you're
the
reading
other
in
father,
between
too.
the lines,
Right.
and you're not in the sentence.
Right.
Gotcha. So then your mind,
Right.
with all of your mistrust
With
and all
everything
this
she's
mess
told
you
me about she's
created,
not
now you
mine.
thinking
Right.
she slept with him, and now this baby could be his too.
Right.
What a mess. Really. Oh. So, Miss Cain, you are admitting to having contact, look, not sex, but a continual contact relationship with these various men where you are going out with them, having drinks with them, eating with them, not double dating, but just meeting
Sleeping
a
in bed with
girl
them.
and a guy, sleeping in the bed. I mean, I understand why he could have doubt. Do you?
Yes, I do understand.
I don't know if you all are calling this a committed relationship. I'm calling it a chaotic relationship. And the problem is neither one of you trusts the other one. You got a beautiful little girl that's losing because she's living in all this chaos.
I agree.
If you in a relationship and can't put the phone down for 2 hours and somebody accuses you of cheating, something's wrong.
I agree with that. I can't do anything.
Nobody want to walk around with the phone Velcro to their shirt.
That's exactly how it is.
You might
though.
miss a text.
That's not what happens though. She gets back, okay, yep, I was pissed because she put the phone down right in the middle of a conversation. She gets back, what happens? The one that she had a threesome with is unblocked and friends with her on Facebook.
But this is
sending
what
her
I'm
messages,
saying.
And
You
so is her
all
ex.
have, no, this is what I'm saying. You all have too many people in your mix. It's like a jambalaya, but it don't taste good. Do you understand what I'm saying? The recipe is not right. But you all made it. You put all these people in your pot. Oh, I'm gonna go to his house, or he can sleep in my bed, or I'm gonna go visit her. All these people are in your pot. Now you all have made this jambalaya of a mess, and you both don't like how it tastes.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And now, Mr. Wright, you saying if this child is not yours, you want out.
Yeah, I'm done.
So these
I love
stakes
her,
are
but I'm
high
done.
for this little girl who I'm sure at 2 years old regards you as her father. Now, Miss Cain, before I get to these results, I have to ask you, is there anything you want to say? Have you slept with somebody and you just felt ashamed, you didn't want to bring it up? This is the time. Just lay it on the line, get it out there, and let it be. Nobody.
No, ma'am. There's nothing. I've never slept with anybody else besides Mr. Wright.
You have never.
Not for the past 3 years.
You're sure.
Why? Because we've been together for 3.5.
3.5 years.
So she hasn't slept with
Not
anybody for
even
3.
during a break?
Nope.
Okay. Jerome? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Cain v. Wright, pertaining to 1-year-old Ariana Wright, it has been determined Mr. Wright, do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Cain v. Wright, pertaining to 1-year-old Ariana Wright, it has been determined, Mr. Wright, you are Ariana's father. I see the tears and I'm glad you're relieved. You know now.
I do.
How do you feel, Ms. Cain? Relieved?
Yes.
Now see, finally in this moment, the truth has been a catalyst for you to just taking your walls down for a moment. This is the most authentic I've seen both of you be since we've been in this courtroom. This truth here has now knocked those walls down. Both of you all can express the love and emotion for this beautiful little girl that really you should be expressing for one another if you really love one another and want to be in the relationship.
I do love her, but she needs to start putting me first.
Put me first, too. Give me 100%.
The word is called reciprocity. Look it up, write it on a piece of paper, put it on the refrigerator. Because you two have got to learn that whatever you want out of a relationship, you gotta be willing to give it. I wish you the best of luck. Take care of that beautiful little girl. Mr. Boykin, you claim that your relationship with the defendant was nothing more than a spring fling. You say after disappearing for 9 months, Ms. Gulley resurfaced claiming you fathered her son, Messiah Gulley. You are certain that this is not your child and plan to prove that in court today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Gulley, you say that the defendant is the only man you slept with during the window of conception, and you are positive he is Messiah's biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Boykin, I'll start with you. Why are you so certain you aren't the father?
Your Honor, I'm here to prove and to tell the court and to tell her that I am not the father. I am not Messiah's father. We only had sex a couple times. It was like a summer breeze going through the wind. I actually did not know that she was pregnant.
And so you truly believe you are not this child's father?
I'm not the father, Your Honor.
Ms. Gulley, are you certain Mr. Boykin is your child's biological father?
Yes, I am certain he's my child's father. He's the only man that I've been with during the time that I got pregnant. There's no other guy.
And why do you think he's denying?
I mean, like, I have no idea. He knew that I was pregnant because I called him from the hospital when I found out that I was pregnant.
So you notified him, you told him?
Yes.
So you're saying that's a lie for him to come in here and say that he didn't even know you were pregnant?
Correct.
All right, I want to know how you all met. What's this relationship about?
We were just friends at the time. I mean, chilling, hooking up, basically having sex.
So this was a sexual relationship?
Yes.
It wasn't a committed relationship, Mr. Boykin?
No, Your Honor.
How'd you meet?
I met her at the store.
Okay.
I met her at the store, you know. Talked to her a couple times. We ended up having sex a couple times. It was just a sex
We
thing.
exchanged numbers.
Oh, you just meet at the store, exchange numbers, then you just had sex?
That was it.
Yes. Not that same day, no.
Okay. How often were you having sex, Mr. Boykin?
A few times, Your Honor. I stopped messing with her like in August.
Were you using protection?
At first we was, but then I started.
We never used protection. Never.
And I see Messiah was born in April. So, Mr. Boykin, that would put the window of conception right around the time you were having sex with Miss Gulley?
How is that, Your Honor?
Because you said you had sex over the course of a few months. If you had sex over the course of a few months and somewhere about 10 months later, she says she's pregnant, that seems to be the window of time that the baby would be conceived.
I am not the father. I am not the father.
How did you find out she was pregnant?
I called him from the hospital. and told him I was pregnant.
And you were at the hospital and you found out you were pregnant?
Yes,
Your Honor.
ma'am. I called Darius and I told him that I was.
You called Mr. Boykin?
Yes, ma'am.
And the conversation went like?
He said right off that he wasn't the father, but I told him
Your
that
Honor.
he was the only man that I was with at the time that I conceived.
Do you remember getting that call, Mr. Boykin?
Yes, when she was calling me, asking me for money.
So hold on.
Like it was a relationship.
I never
It
called
was never
you
a
that day and
relationship,
asked you
Your
for
Honor.
money.
Do you remember getting the call saying, Mr. Boykin, I'm pregnant?
After 10 months later, you know how she got back in touch with me? Through a Facebook friend of mine's. After 10 months, I was never there through the
We
pregnancy.
lost contact, so yes,
We
I
didn't
found
lose
a way to get in
contact.
touch with
She
him.
stopped messing with me, Your Honor.
Right.
She stopped calling me. I was never there through the pregnancy or none of that.
So wait a minute. You saying through the whole pregnancy,
I
you
was never
heard
there.
nothing?
Nothing.
No.
So you didn't even know she was pregnant?
He knew because I called him from the hospital.
She called me after the day she had the baby in the
No.
hospital.
I called him after I had my baby, after I cut him off, months before I had my baby, because all he did was call me, wanted to have sex. That was it. And I was sick and went up for it.
You
Yes.
just said, I don't want to deal with this?
Yes.
Because he wasn't
Yes.
trying to have a relationship.
Right.
Your Honor.
Go to dinner, or go to the movies, or anything like that.
Ask me, I'm feeling okay. No.
Because we are not in a relationship.
Tell me how you see this, because you two
Your
are
Honor.
definitely on two different pages.
I understand that. But I'm trying to be on the right page because I know for a fact that's not my child.
So you had gone on about your life after she cut you off.
Exactly.
You were living your life. You weren't thinking anything about her, and all of a sudden,
Didn't
a
talk
friend.
to her period until she had the baby at the hospital. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't go up there the first day, but the second day I went up there, Your Honor, I hit the lobby. I'm thinking like, Darius, is this your baby? This what's going on in my head. I'm in the lobby thinking this. You know, is this my baby? And I said, no, Darius, this ain't your baby. So I ain't gonna lie, Your Honor.
You were having a conversation with yourself
with
in your
myself
head.
in the lobby before I even went upstairs to the room to see the baby. So I'm like, is this my baby? Then some tell me, Darius, this ain't your baby.
If you had
look what's
doubt,
going on.
Why would
Your
you
Honor,
show up?
Why would you get in touch with me through Facebook to let me know that I'm your child's father? You understand? You see where I'm coming from now? So, after my friend had
But she
told-
said she cut you off, so did you have a new
Exactly,
number?
so if she cut me off, how's I'm my father? Her
Yes,
child's
his number
father.
I
changed.
need you to understand that just
I
because she cut
understand
you
you.
off doesn't mean that you didn't impregnate her before she cut you off.
No.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Did you finally, after you talked to yourself and you went back and forth, did you finally go up there?
Your Honor, yeah, after I got myself together, I went up there. I hold the baby, I was looking at it. Then I looked at her, looking at the baby, looked at her, and I said, no, this ain't my baby.
He was
That's how I
happy.
felt.
He stared at him for a minute, then he kissed him. He held him for a minute, maybe like 10 minutes, then he put him back down. And he told me he'll be keeping in touch, and he left.
I'll be keeping in touch.
Right.
Did you keep in touch?
She didn't keep in touch. I didn't keep in touch.
Yes, ma'am, we did. But he also denied after I left the hospital being a father.
So you obviously didn't sign the birth certificate.
No.
No, ma'am.
And Messiah's 2 months now.
Yes, ma'am.
So what has Mr. Boykin done for or with
Nothing.
Messiah?
Nothing. He bought a DNA testing to test my son to see if he's the father, but we never did because he wanted me to go half. And I didn't
Okay.
have the money at the time and I wasn't working. Okay,
So I
if
said-
you bought the
I
DNA
said-
testing, why you just
So
couldn't
I
pay for the
said
whole
to
thing
her,
if you
I
want to know
said-
if it's your child?
I'm gonna buy the DNA test. I said, we're gonna go half. It costs like $135, I think $140 to send back to the lab to get the results.
And I didn't have half.
I said, I was willing to go half if she go half. She didn't go half. You know what she did?
It
Your
didn't
Honor?
make sense
She
to
took
me.
the test back. She took the test back on her own without me telling her.
Wait, she took the test back and did what?
She took it back. I guess she got the money back. I kept asking her, can I get it?
Yes, I
Miss
did.
Gulley,
take
did you take the test
Yes.
back and get the money?
Yes, I bought my baby Pampers and wipes with it.
Well, the babies do need Pampers and wipes. And I mean, you have to understand, Mr. Boykin. I mean, Miss Gulley had just had the baby. How's she
No,
going
how-
half on a DNA test and all of
No
that,
job.
and she still trying to heal and deal with the baby? Why wouldn't you just say, I want this result. I'm gonna pay for this test as long as you agree to just test the baby?
I was trying to do that, Your Honor. Reason why I said half, because she said she had half.
My point is, that was the moment where you had to have that conversation with yourself and say, well, Darius, if she don't have the money, you might not be able to get this test. Well, maybe you should go on and pay it. Well, maybe I should. You should have went back to talking to yourself and said, you know what, if I'm gonna get the answer to this question that I have, I may have to pay for it. Now I'm concerned about the fact that you are certain you are not this child's father.
I'm certain. She told me it's a possibility. That
I mean,
might
it
be
was another guy,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
the
Then she
dates
said
don't add up.
then she said-
The dates don't
then she said
not add
Tremaine,
up.
baby.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, Miss Gulley, you testified that this was the only man you were with. Who's this other man?
He's not the father. Darius is the father. I don't believe the other guy's the father.
Okay, believe is something completely different.
I know Darius is the father.
So who is this other guy?
A long-term friend.
And you were having sex with him unprotected as well?
Yes.
How often were you with that man?
Maybe a few times before I got pregnant.
That is a recipe for pregnancy. Were you also sleeping with Mr. Boykin at the same time?
No.
It's your testimony that during the window of time when Messiah was conceived, you were only sleeping with Mr. Boykin.
Right.
Mr. Boykin, you believe, though, that this other man is a potential father. What did you know about him?
Nothing.
Nothing but what she told me. Nothing
What
but
did she
told me.
tell you?
It's a possibility it might be his, and a possibility it might be yours. That's exactly what she told me.
And when
That's
did she
why I
tell
felt
you
like-
this? At what point in this process, in this timeline, did she tell you that?
After she had the baby on.
After the baby was born?
No, ma'am.
We ain't get back. We ain't start talking until you had the baby. I did not talk to you until you had the baby.
Right.
Okay, well, so tell the truth.
That's what I told
Did you ever tell him, Miss Gulley, that it could possibly be his baby or someone else's?
Like I told him, I strongly believe he's the father. I was messing around with this other guy. No, I don't believe he's the father.
Your Honor, shit not sure. That's unbalanced. How you gonna say you believe? Tell me I am or not.
Well, I know you're the father. He looks just like him.
Baby don't look like me.
And
Your
you submitted some pictures to the court that you say prove that Mr. Boykin is Messiah's biological father. This is a picture of beautiful baby Messiah.
You see the resemblance.
And you believe this picture, you say there's a dent in the nose that's the same.
ma'am. Yes. Right.
And in your words, you say they have the same basketball head.
yes.
He said it's not shaped like mine.
And finally, you
Parrot head.
submitted this one. And you say he has his daddy's dimples.
I don't have no dimples. The baby doesn't look nothing like me. I don't know what she see.
So when you look at the baby, you don't see yourself.
I
I just
do.
can't see.
I do.
I can't see it.
I do. Look at this smile.
I mean, I can see it in my other
at
children,
the
Your Honor,
dent
but I
right
can't
there.
see it in that baby there.
Sit on the forehead.
Forehead shaped like a pear, mine shaped, a big baby head shaped like a pear.
About the same.
So, Mr. Boykin,
Yes, Your Honor.
if the test proves you are Messiah's biological father, are you willing to step up? Are you willing to be a father to this beautiful baby
Of course,
boy?
Your Honor.
You are.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Gulley, what would you like him to do?
When the results prove you're the father, I need you to step up and be a father. I already have 2 other kids to take care of, and it's hard with them. So I need you to step up and do your part.
And talk to him about what it would mean for Messiah to have a father in his life.
He know it's things as a mother that I can't teach him that his father can. So he most definitely gonna need his father in his life.
And as you've been through this time, I mean, you have just had him 2 months ago. I know you're just still dealing with that.
Yes,
And I see you're emotional.
very.
What are you feeling in this moment?
Like I just wanna get him his results and move on for his co-parenting. Whatever it takes for him to be in his life. I had a good childhood coming up, and I expect for my son to be the same.
And you've had tears in your eyes this entire case.
It's very emotional. I'm just ready to get it behind me get this stress off of me.
When you say the stress,
It stresses me because he's denying being a father. I mean, like, he know. He know.
Mr. Boykin, are you ready for the results?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right. Let's get those results. Jerome?
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Boykin versus Gulley, when it comes to 2-month-old Messiah Gulley, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Boykin, you are not the father. You are not the father, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Gulley, I could tell that in your mind you had done the calculation and you truly thought Mr. Boykin was your child's biological father. I have to ask you respectfully, do you know who Messiah's biological father is?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this the other man you informed that he could potentially be the father?
Yes.
Does he want to be in Messiah's life?
I hope. I mean, I don't know.
Do you know where he is?
Yes.
All right. I know this is not what you expected, but this is the truth, and you need to know, and Mr. Boykin needed to know. It's time now. This truth it only prepares you to go forward. Meaning now you know, with every step you take, you need to be more honest with yourself. You now can understand and appreciate the stress and the thought process Mr. Boykin was going through all this time as well, only to find out this really isn't his child. Is there anything you'd like to say to Mr. Boykin?
I apologize. That's all I have to say to him.
What are you feeling in this moment, Mr. Boykin?
I'm glad that we got the situation handled. But I was preparing myself for it, you know. I ain't the man upstairs, but, you know, I try to be a man doing manly things in this world, you know. I accept the apology.
That's good.
Yeah.